Welcome, my PBM family. Welcome. PBM presents another episode of Old School Cops. We got a three-man unit for you guys today. As you know, you send us videos, we'll give you assessments. Who's in the unit today with me? I got OG Ted Golden. He is probably the oldest guy in law enforcement. I know he has more experience than anybody else I know in law enforcement. This man was doing law enforcement, serving communities when I was in junior high school. He was a city cop, did really well. He did so well, he went to the feds, became a DEA agent, and did amazing work. He has receipts after receipts, accolades after accolades for how much work this man put into protecting the community. So he is one of the guys that I have great respect for when it comes down to knowing the job of law enforcement. He also is from the community, and it's nothing like knowing the people that you are policing. So he is the grandfather, the OG of the panel, and my next officer who ride with me, he has many years in law enforcement as well. He's also from the community. He also, during his time in law enforcement, he did some sergeant work. He did detective work. As a detective, he was investigating a lot of youth violence and addiction, which entails, to summarize it, it was a gang for juveniles. From juveniles to adults that was involved with gangs. He was detective assigned to investigate young individual juveniles that was getting themselves involved with gangs. He also did a lot of burglary work before he went into the gang unit. That means if your house got broken into, you did home invasions, they also would get there and go, okay, we do have something. Can we bring in the specialist? He would come in, whether it was dusting for prints, collecting evidence, some real CSI work. This is what he's done. He did amazing work. He also has a lot of accolades, awards, and receipts for outstanding police work. And we are here to give you your assessment. This is what you asked for. This is what we give you. This particular incident, as you see, it was a little chaotic. It looked like a large group, several people fighting. The female officer, I don't know what the hell she was doing. She just dived right in head first and got body slammed. You gotta have common sense. You're not wearing a cape. That uniform is not a superhero cape. You gotta be a thinker. This job requires you to have common sense. Don't put on that uniform and think that it protects you like you're some type of superhero, because it doesn't. Now people will ask, oh, okay, she's seen a bunch of people. What is she supposed to do? Just let them fight? Yes. Let them fight. She's by herself. I'm just going to share a story with you real quick. I remember when I was in patrol, right? I got a call, and the call said it gave my unit number and several other units. It said, please respond to this particular location. It was about, I think it was the 600 block of Grace Street, I think it was. They said callers are saying you got about 300 to 400 people in the street fighting. The craziest thing about this call, right, is I was approaching the street that the call was coming out on, but it was a side street. So I actually rolled down my window to see if I get 300, 400. I should hear something going on before I turn onto this block, because I'm on the adjacent street over. I'm about to turn right onto the street. Didn't hear anything. But in policing, when you get several calls of the same complaint, it's normally a good call. Even the dispatcher, he keyed up and said, hey, listen, unit, this is a good call because we're getting several calls on it. And I said, I'm 1023, which I'm on scene. And it was like, hold the air is let the officer who is there on scene quickly assess and let everybody else know what's going on, because 300-400 people in the street fighting could be very dangerous to get involved in that particular. So radio goes to silence. I am the only one who is allowed to actually communicate at that particular time. So I turned the corner, and when I turned the corner, it was 300 to 400 people fighting. I could not believe what I saw. It looked like two gangs got together, because it was like basketball when we was kids, shirts in skins. One of the gang members, they all took off their shirts, and the other gang members had their shirts on. So when I turned, I was looking, I was like, yeah, radio, it is 300 to 400 people fighting. And they said, okay, so you want me to tone it? Tone it is put a tone over the radio, all the surrounding officers from other districts, from other precincts. I need everybody to come to assist me. I don't use the tone unless it's an officer involved in it. I don't want these guys busting their tail to get here, hitting people, hitting cars, getting into accidents. If an officer, me, myself, is not in danger at that very moment. So I said, no, radio, just get as many people as you can. I'm going to stand by and wait for the cavalry to show up. And then we actually can go in and start doing some enforcement work. So I literally got out my car and I just stood there and just watched our entire fight. I was looking for weapons. I was looking to see if anybody had guns, knives. I was kind of zero in on, because it looked like a straight up brawl, a street brawl, and it was just fisticuffs. I didn't see any weapons. I didn't see no sticks. It was just knuckle up. Like these two gangs must have said, meet me over here, no weapons, and we just going to settle whatever beef we had, because that's exactly what it looks like. So as officers start arriving, I was like, wait, just wait until the cavalry get here. Then we'll just go in and do what we got to do. It took one dumb officer, right, to go in and try to play Mr. Superhero. And this dude, he was in my academy. He was horrible in the academy, and I just knew he was going to be a horrible cop. So as I'm telling the officers to stand by, wait till we get enough people to go in and control this, he goes running up into the crowd, trying to grab people and throw them on. If you know anything about a crowd of people fighting and they gang members, this is the best opportunity to take a shot at a cop and actually get away with it, because we're so outnumbered. Who you grabbing? What happened? He grabbed somebody, then got hit. Bang! He hit the ground. The guys that was actually fighting against each other start stomping him out. So the fight is no longer with them. They start stomping. So he just balled up. And then I got on the radio and I said, radio, go ahead and tone it. We got an officer down. I picked up my bass and started just making my way to him and just making people. It was like, I felt like I was a fireman and a 3-alarm fire. And I'm just spraying everybody to get to him. I'm just spraying. I told the officers that was there, we got to go get stupid ass out this crowd because he can get hurt. So everybody just started spraying. By that time, you have more people show up. A lieutenant came here that I really, rest his soul, he passed away, that I really had a lot of great respect for. He pulled out this big fogger. It was like a damn fire extinguisher. It was huge. It had a big hole. He's like, get out the way, guys. And when I tell you, he fogged, everybody just stood behind him. And just all these kids was flapping around like fish. Everybody's holding their eyes, crying. We actually picked up the officer. I told the lieutenant, you need to talk to his stupid ass, because I don't know what he was trying to prove, but he got stomped out a little bit. He didn't get hurt, but his feelings. But that was just the dumbest thing that you can do. Listen, we all been in situations before. We respond to this. You're no good if now you become a victim in a scene that you can't control. Like, I cannot understand what made him in his mind think it was okay to go in that crowd. Go ahead, Ted.
He's Superman. He thinks he's Superman.
Yeah. Yeah. And you see what happened with this female officer in this video? That's exactly after getting hit. Then he got slammed. Then he got kicked. And I was like, oh, go ahead, radio, tone it. We do have officer down. She tones it, and the whole cavalry started coming. Go ahead, Ted.
So I guess the best thing about being raised in the hood is you've seen these fights. They start with the little children first. The little 3 and 5-year-old be fighting each other. Then the elementary school kids fight each other. Yeah. Then the middle school fight each other. Next thing you know, you got these grown high school, grown adult people fighting like the whole family. Because in the project we deep, right? I had 7 kids in my family, so you got half the projects watching, and the other half is fighting. Yeah. I I never forget this one guy ran in the house, and this girl, her name was Frida, but we call her Soul. Her nickname was Soul. Frida picked up a brick and threw it through the house. Back then we had telephones on the wall, right? The telephone wall with the long extension cord. She threw the brick through the house about halfway through, or the apartment rather, about halfway through the apartment. It hit the phone and knocked it off the wall. And Frida was so bad, she got into a fight with the principal, and they suspended her. They basically eradicated her from school. They kicked her out.
Wow.
So, but when you're in the hood and you see them kind of fights, you go, okay, all right. And so the same concept comes when you're a cop. There are some things you can't do. I remember we got a bank robbery call one time, a bank holdup alarm, and I was a rookie, day shift with all the old heads. I mean, these guys were old. They were in their 50s. Of course, I'm 60 now, but they were in their 50s, and they didn't get in the rush to do nothing. So I'm driving, and I pull up on the scene for where the bank is, and he goes, "Hold up, rookie, where you going?" I said, "I'm going to." He said, "No. You got to wait till the rest of them get here." So the bank manager came out and waved at us. He said, "Wait." So within 2 minutes, 4 more cars showed up. He said, "Okay, rookie, now you can go forward." We all went forward at the same time. Bank manager came out and said everything was okay. Of course, you can't trust it because we don't know if somebody's inside the bank or not.
Right.
So two guys with shotguns walked in, okay, with the bank manager, and 2 more guys stood outside with shotguns just to make sure everything was okay, looking for suspicious cars. Everything was okay. But what I learned from it was safety first. Safety first. I don't care what's going on. You got to be safe first. And in this situation, she don't know who the aggressor is. She don't know who the victims are. You watch somebody flip somebody over, the best thing for you to do is just sit back and wait. And always make sure, especially if you're a woman, nothing against women, but always make sure you're close to somebody else. You don't go off in no tangent by yourself trying to rescue people, because especially now, if you were like me, 6'5", 260 pounds, 265 pounds, yeah, you got to be able to handle yourself. But if you 5'5", 140, okay, 30, hey, I don't care what you say. That's like a flea, man. They thump you out the way.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you got to be safe.
Yeah, and you notice, right? I didn't see no other cops.
No, I saw one.
I seen her run in, get slammed, and then I seen another one come up.
Right.
But there was no way even 2 cops should have been involved in that. Wait, you gotta have. Look. That common sense. She probably got a damn master's degree. That I'm telling you, the higher you go in education and law enforcement, the more you have people with no damn common sense. That's a common sense factor. You know what? The academy tells you to go in there and go, stop fighting. Grab an individual's arm, do an arm bar to the ground.
No, man, I got one for you. Big Jack had a 6-foot-long hickory stick in the back seat of his car. And we got into a place where it was too much going on, too many people. Big Jack pulled that hickory stick out, and when you swing a hickory, you hear that whoosh sound, man.
Yo, that's
take off running because look, when he showed up and pulled the stick out, they leave. They wouldn't even wait because they knew him. They knew he pulled that hickory stick out, and it don't break. When it hits you, it don't break.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, we used to have it where at night after those after-hour clubs were let out, and you had the drug dealers there and the wannabes, and everybody's in there and they're drinking, and next thing you know, it spills out into the streets. The club closes, and now you got chaos in the streets. And what we did was pretty much stayed on the outer perimeters. The officers are communicating. You're trying to take as much mental notes as possible. You're trying to remember key figures and the people who are doing stuff. You would try and get license plate numbers to cars parked. And when you see people, like someone would drive off, you would key on the radio, 10-5, stop that guy. Go ahead and stop him. And at a safe distance away, you can make a traffic stop and stop him. You can obtain information. You can make an arrest based on what you saw. But, you did things from afar. You did not jump out of the pan into fire and risk getting yourself hurt or even killed in those situations. Right. So, yeah, that was just poor tactics. And, you got to put your safety first.
You have to. You can't put yourself in a situation where your safety is just out the window and now you're hurt. She's getting up off the ground. She ran in there like she was going to do something, and he just slammed the shit out. Bang! And just kept going.
Thank God she didn't get knocked unconscious with the hit to the ground.
Yeah.
Now you're vulnerable. You got a weapon on you. You're laying there. Who you're doing nobody no good. And now what? You're not going to come back to your family, or they're going to visit you in the hospital? So no, it's just common sense. That's just common sense. You just don't do it. Hopefully that her department got wind of that, and they made up some training or made up some sort of policy on how to respond to those type of situations, because that should never happen again.
Yeah,
you gotta know your limitations. Gotta know your limitations. You got to know what you're going up against and whether or not you need backup. We had a guy who
I think
he's always been in fights like that, man. He would get his butt whooped, and we have to come rescue him. And it's scary because he never learned. But at the same time, you got to be conscious about what's going on and be cautious, because you want to go home. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Everybody wants to go home, and those people out there, they only see you for a minute, and you just got to be careful, because all it takes is one wrong step and you're done.
Yeah.
And now it's so much easier with technology. Now you could have you just respond from various angles. All you got to do and just film everything. And then in certain places throughout the cities, they already got it up there already. So you don't even have to carry it. All you have to do is draw the footage, and you got what you need. So it's just a matter of being smart, not being foolish and entering yourself into harm's way.
HD video too. They can go in and actually read license plates and actually read lips now. They can read what you're saying. They can get somebody to read your lips when you're talking.
They got facial recognition. They got stuff where they can freeze it and take pictures and frames. I mean, it's so advanced. It's amazing. So that's more of an incentive for an officer to actually position yourself in the right place and just watch and observe.
Yeah. I agree, man. I'm gonna close this out, but I do have a question, right? Do y'all watch The Breakfast Club sometimes with Charlamagne?
No, I don't watch.
Do you know who he is? You do know who he is, right?
Oh yeah, I know who Charlamagne is.
Okay, so you know who Charlamagne is, Tom, right? So what he does sometimes during the show is called the Donkey of the Day, right? When somebody just does something so outrageous, right? He calls them, they get the Donkey of the Day award, right? I want you guys to think of an award that we give officers, like the guy with the traffic stop. And for my audience, I want y'all to put it in the chat, because I want to create, like Charlamagne has Donkey of the Day. I want to create a name for these officers that do the most stupidest shit. Like, no, man, like what are you doing? Like, so just think of something, put it in the chat, and then I'll present it next week.
I already got a suggestion for you, Joe.
All right, go ahead. Tell me what you think.
So when I came to Atlanta with DEA, they had this trophy with a goat on it. And when you messed up big time, the GOAT trophy was sitting on your desk. Greatest of all time. That's what it was. Greatest screw up of all time. And so the GOAT would be sitting on your desk when you got back. We call them hummers. You go out and nothing happens, and you go out and they get screwed up. That GOAT was sitting on your desk. It got to a point to where one guy kept getting the GOAT award, and they took it away because he was so devastated that the second officer says, "Look, no more GOAT." No more. So it means the best of all time, obviously. One guy got like 4 or 5 times, man. It was hard. It was hard, boy. I feel so sorry for him.
That's bad when you're getting it back to back repeatedly. You might want to look at another profession, bro.
Yeah, it was funny as all get up. But I'm gonna recommend the GOAT Award because then you can just pass it around.
Yeah. Tone?
No, it's funny that Ted said that, but I remember back in the day that they had it, I think it was like in a daily news newspaper, where in sports, when they have the player, one was the hero of the day with the trophy, and the other one, that's the good one, right? And the other one was the GOAT, and it was the trophy with the GOAT on it, the GOAT head on it. So, and the one that did the good play, he did an outstanding play, and the one he did like a goofball error, just a real foolish play, and that's how they have that every day. Yeah, something like
the
that.
GOAT of the day, right?
Yeah,
Go.
yeah.
Greatest of all time.
Let's see if our audience gives us anything better if they don't go to the day. And when I first thought about this idea, he says donkey of the day. I was going to say I was thinking the pig of the day, but
Pig of the day. Wow,
that's a good one. It's gonna be hard to beat that one, Joe.
The pig of the
that might
day.
be good. And you have you have videos of officers doing good and right things, so he'll be the hero of the day.
Right,
We'll definitely. When it comes to, we give praises on the good.
Oh no,
but
we keep it
we
balanced.
showing up for it. We're gonna let him have it. Yes. Because I've seen that.
We've
We've done that.
Yeah.
We've done it a number of times.
This has nothing to do with being anti-police. We anti-bad policing.
No.
That's what we talk. We're anti-bad policing.
No.
We love the profession. The profession did really well. We all did really well. It's amazing, proud of the profession. But we are definitely anti-bad policing. When the guys go out and do it right, we'll be the first ones to tell you this is exactly how you represent yourself and do the job as a professionally trained law enforcement official, and is proud to see your officer go out and do it the right way. So I have no problem saying that. For my viewers, like I always tell you, my supporters, your fight is in the courtroom, not on the side of the road. The officer wins on the side of the road. So please take your fight to the courtroom. See you next week, and please stay safe.